Ladies and gentlemen, please help me to welcome a man of great courage and integrity, our guest speaker for this evening, Major Brian Chontosh.
I don't think I've been this nervous in 15 years or so here. Very privileged to be here. A lot of things going through my mind, what to share, what not to share, sharing with a whole bunch of strangers. But let me start it off. I've never served with Travis Manion, yet I served with Travis Manion. I never shared the battlefield with Travis Manion yet I served with Travis Manion. And I know the veterans here, same cut of the same cloth, all understand what I'm saying. We talk about character does matter, character does matter. I served with Travis Manion in that spirit, so it's a privilege to be here. Trying to figure out what I'm going to say. You know, Jimmy told me I was going to have 30 minutes to talk, and next thing you know, I have 7 minutes to talk. I got to condense this all down into 7 minutes here, but. You know, I'm gonna stand here in front of everybody that had a full day of golf and had some beers and amazing presentation and the accomplishments of these two gentlemen. And it's like, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna wax prophetically about leadership, extreme ownership, entrepreneurship, you name it, to a bunch of you successful individuals in the community who are already doing what you do. And I'm like, yeah, I don't think I'm gonna do that. And just driving up in the car, I was talking with Nicole, and she made a comment. She says, you know, this thing called arrogance, it's amazing how far it'll get you until it doesn't. I was like, wow, that's kind of powerful. I was like, yeah, and it's kind of amazing actually how far it actually does get you. This thing called arrogance, you know, is it arrogance? Is it just audacity? Is it ignorance? Is it a combination of all the three? And it made me go into reflection about what I wanted to share, and I knew what I wanted to share, but I didn't quite have it until we started talking about this, and it brought me back to 2014, talking to the Naval Academy class of 2014, and they asked me, they say, hey Tosh, tell me about combat leadership, and I just kind of look at this. Everybody wants to know about combat leadership. What is it? What's combat leadership? And I always reply, well, why combat? Why isn't it just leadership? Well, what's the difference? Because of the other. You have the answers. It's courage, it's bravery, whatever. But why does it always have to be combat leadership? Okay, sir, I got it. And then they say, tell me about leadership. And I'm going to say, oh, you want me to tell you about leadership? Well, you mean not sucking at life? Really? Like, that's what leadership is. It's not sucking at life. And they all looked at me, and of course the admirals and the Navy captains were like, oh, now we just did this now. We just given Tosh opportunity to talk. And I went on and on. And so I was at this critical stage, understanding where I was at the Naval Academy, culmination of 21 years of Marine Corps service. Started out enlisted, very proud of my career, of who I am, less the things that I've done, but who I was. And I'm getting ready to transition into the civilian community, and I don't know who I am. I've got all these great ideas. How to train men into men and men into Marines and lead them in combat and do things that I would never want to ask them to do, but I have to ask them to do. And here I am. I'm getting ready to transition to the civilian world, and I don't even know who I am. And I'm speaking, and I'm telling you not to suck at life. Well, what do I mean? And it's scary out here. I don't know if I really believe who I am. I don't know I was proud of who I was. I had this element of arrogance, a successful career, awards, accomplishments, a lot of bar fights, a lot of getting in trouble, drinking with the men, all these things. I was real proud of all that. And you see, thanks for laughing. I try to do that. See, I do that when I get nervous and I start talking serious. And everybody says it detracts from the message, but I do it as a self-soothing technique. And I do not have the construct now, the rigors of the Marine Corps, the rules and the regulations. And now I'm going to be forced to look at myself. Am I who I really am? Or am I just being who I want to be? Or do I want to just be who I am? It's like, oh my God, my head is spinning. And so it leaves me what do you mean by not sucking at life? Not sucking at life. That's what I fell back to. Tosh, you're going to be fine. All you have to do is not suck at life. And I repeat that deliberately. Chris Smith tells me you have to say something 7 times for it to be learned. Not sucking at life. That's 6. Okay? So, of course, the Naval Academy kids, they want a prescription. They want an equation of what that means. Right? And so the conversation transitions then. I want to be a man that's the most of the mosts. I have the mosts. I'm an individual that you most want to call when you get engaged. I'm the individual that you most want to be with when you wake up with nightmares. I'm the man that you most want to call to say, hey, I just had my baby boy. I'm the guy that you want to call first when it's, hey, we got to grab our guns and go. I want to be the guy that you call when you have an ethical question, I don't know what to do. I want to have the mosts. That was my equation. It made simple sense to me. It didn't make sense to 22-year-old midshipman, so I had to dig in a little further. And I said, all you have to do is treat people a certain way. You have to give them 3 things. 3 things. You have to make them feel valued. You have to empower them. And then you challenge them. And that's it. That's the answer. And so Travis Manion Foundation, Josh, Jimmy, all of you, Travis, never served on the ground with any of you, yet I served with you. They called me up, Tosh, hey, come and let's talk about this. What am I going to give you? And that's it right there. Character does matter. It's all about character, not sucking at life. 7. So, going back to what I said, arrogance, this thing called arrogance, not believing your own bullshit. And that's where I was. I was forced to look at myself and say, hey, I've been living my own bullshit for 20, 21 years. Can I put that aside and be successful in the civilian world? Now I live this life of picking and choosing organizations, companies, individuals, and engaging in relationships with people that share the same values as I do. Character does matter. If not me, then who? It seems like a perfect fit. So hopefully I shared something with you. I didn't insult anybody. Valued, empowered, and challenged. Thank you so much, Ryan, for being able to share that message.